Hello again. This is the Unapologetic Geek, live for the second time this weekend. This time I'm with my other podcast, From Here to Paternity. And since I'm not the host of that podcast either, I'm going to pass it on to Scott, and he's going to introduce everything.
Hello and welcome to the live stream. I'm Scott, the man who watches birds and polishes turds. I'll pass it over to my hetero love mate.
Yeah. Giggity. Hey, I'm D, Big D, Damien, the man with plans. Pass it on to Eric.
Hi, I'm the Unapologetic Geek again.
Again, yes. I'm so used to doing that.
That's fine.
Let's go to Joe.
Joe.
Hi, I'm Joe. I guess I'm the third guest. What?
Sure.
I don't know.
And the editor-in-chief on our show. Our podcast.
Yes,
Yeah.
the most
Well, first,
important one.
Get out of the way. Hello, GR. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Hey, Tom, Hungry
Hello.
Jerk.
How's it going?
Baked bean.
Baked Bean is here. Excellent.
Awesome.
Nice.
I haven't forgotten your email. It's just, busy weekend. Yep. All right. Yes, I passed the buck. That's my job. I don't like hosting. I get very nervous. So
We'll leave it
Scott,
to
what
the
is this all
expert.
about?
Okay, so this so we're talking about the glorious experience of TV moms. And
Hi, John.
Hey, and you'll be happy to know that I didn't overdo it this time. I only kept my list down to I think it's 56. So instead of the usual 80.
My list is 5. I have 5 people on my list.
I've got a good dozen or a little few more, but I don't plan on bringing them all up.
I left off a few obvious ones that I assume somebody else is going to mention. So
Yeah, I've got a whole list of a lot of people that I usually just cross them off as we go through them. And so, I assume people are gonna say I just like to and then I'll also, anyone that I don't have on here, I always like to add because there's a bunch. There's just so many. I've already thought of 3 more that I completely forgot about just as we started this, and I'm like, oh man. And so there's just too many awesome shows. And again, I only kept it to the ones that I have actually seen and watched. So
yeah, same here. I've only got the ones that I actually have seen the shows, and there's a few I'm missing, I'm sure, but I'm sure.
Yeah, and the same here. I didn't watch a lot of family sitcoms growing up. That's why my list is so small. So you're probably gonna name a lot of people that I haven't actually seen the show. I know of them obviously, but I was always watching sci-fi and horror shows and things like that. It wasn't really sitcoms. I didn't watch a ton of sitcoms, and the sitcoms I did were Frasier, where there is no mom and stuff like that.
So what you're telling us is that the first person on your list is going to be Spock, who was the mother to Captain Kirk's father of the Star Trek. Okay.
No, but there is a character from Star Trek on my list.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So Eric, since this is your stream, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Okay, well, since I just teased it, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I mean, we already mentioned Beverly Crusher when we were talking about movie moms, so I'm going to skip that. We can still talk about her later if you want, but I'm going to actually talk about Loxana Troy. Troy's mom, because she only showed up occasionally, but she was the perfect mom that you're always embarrassed of.
Yes,
she's so flamboyant, and she's always trying to sleep with somebody.
Well, though, she means well.
And she does. She means very well. And there's a couple of episodes with her where it's actually very poignant, where she's expressing her regrets as a mom, and you find out that there was a whole nother child that died when she was really little and stuff like that. And as a mom, she's the most realistic mom, I think, on Star Trek, even including Dr. Crusher, who's a great mom too. I love her. But I feel like Loxana Troy, we can all relate to that. We all have that in our moms, just to some extent, however extreme. And I just wanted to bring her up because I love her. And it's I can't remember the actress's name, but it's Gene Roddenberry's wife.
Majel Barrett.
Majel Barrett. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. So, any thoughts on Loxana Troy?
I did not realize that was Gene Roddenberry's wife.
I didn't either.
The
voice of the computer.
Star Trek until she died. Yeah.
The voice of the computer. What?
She's the voice of the computer in Next Generation, in Deep Space Nine, in Voyager.
Is she really?
She is, yeah.
Mhm.
And I think after that she stopped because she died. So.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
Oh, like death is any kind of excuse.
We still expect you to show up to work, damn it.
Right?
They did use her voice in some of the movies after she died. So
I don't believe in that you can sleep when you're dead, because even when you're dead, you should be working. Sorry.
That's the corporate overlords talking right now.
That's right.
Alan is pleased that you have so many people on your list, Scott. So somebody's happy about it.
All right.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm always happy about it. Scott is a hardworking guy. He really like puts in 110%, or in this case, like 500%. So give him credit.
He is an overachiever.
No, I'm just, again, like going through, like, nursing school is not to teach you how to take care of people. It's to teach you how to become neurotic. And so that is the sole point of it. And so it's built on my already gigantic, fear of like failing and being a fool. And so, and you're right. I like, the thing that I loved most about my own mom was the fact that she was constantly trying to sleep with everyone. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that would be my mom, but
Yeah, we all know.
Hey,
God, there was that one time. You probably don't remember.
You're telling me
your
I'm the only one she said no to? God.
Oh,
I love your mom. I love your mom today.
yes. So do many men. But...
Nice spit take. Excellent.
That was
Good time.
perfectly timed. I had to really hold that one back.
And Tom, that's awesome that you actually met her a few times. And
Wow.
I didn't
wow.
realize she was on Leave It to Beaver once. That's pretty cool.
Was she? I guess she was, wasn't she? Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Who's next?
We going in
Let's go reverse order.
clockwise?
Joe.
Okay, there we go.
You want to go with me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in there.
My main kind of go-to kids, or when I was a kid, Golden Girls, but I have to pick one particular, Sophia Petrello.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Excellent choice.
Yes,
You know.
that was on my list too, by the way.
I mean, funny as all hell.
Yeah.
She is like the funniest character on the show. And she also,
Absolutely.
again, feels the most like the mom.
Mhm.
Even though technically she wasn't actually the oldest one,
Right. She was the
Yeah.
youngest.
which is so
Yeah.
weird to me.
As opposed to Blanche, yet again,
Right.
somebody trying to sleep with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Rose
just
the
Yeah,
Getty.
Estelle
Oblivious
Getty. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Estelle
yeah.
Getty. Yeah. I was
She
gonna
was
mention that.
fantastic. I loved her.
Yeah, that was a great
I think
show.
wasn't she the youngest one out of all of them?
Yes.
Yeah, of the four,
But-
she was the
yeah.
youngest, but she plays the mom of all of them. Like she plays
Yeah,
the oldest.
to a T. Yeah.
She made that show, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I think,
Yes.
yeah, that show wouldn't have been the same without her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like she was the super ego of
Mhm.
all of them, right? Like that moral, like, and the thing that I think was beautiful about her was that there was no filter, like it was just straight honesty.
Yeah,
right.
no filter.
Which,
Just
and again,
called it like she saw it.
with the people that you love,
Uh-huh.
I think that's the best policy, right? And I am, as you guys know, like, to have the ego strength to be able to get called out, like, is a hard thing, and that is something that I myself, like, I think all of us work on, but I myself am trying to work on, is to be more emotionally resilient to constructive criticism and everything, right? And to not personalizing it so much, so that those around us can be. She was.
Yeah,
I
that's her.
forgot
Oh.
about that.
I forgot about that. I
Mhm.
haven't
Great
watched that movie in
callback.
forever.
Oh, and that's what, that's one of the movies. Like I'll I always say John Hughes movies are like some, like, like when it's a rainy day, it's those are the best days to just veg on the couch and watch like a John Hughes movie or something like that. Mannequin is also one of those that come to my mind. Like, and I haven't watched it in forever. It's yeah, it's a great one. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Yeah, she was too. But yeah, I feel like being able to have that ability to have that resiliency so that those around us can be fully honest is something that most people try and like struggle with. But if you're able to do it, like you'll have like to be able to have someone who can like tell you, stop being a fool, you know, stop it, like, and have the courage to do that, like, and to know that you'll still be there with them even when they call you out, I think is truly beautiful. I think it's one of the things why I love people that are on the spectrum so much, like because they can be so brutally honest. And I really do wish the world could be more like that, and that we could handle like hearing those things. And so, anyways, sorry.
Yeah, not to get too personal and lovey-dovey with Scott, but I feel like our relationship kind of started that way. That like we would like almost yell at each other. In fact, I think we did yell at each other. But like we learned that it was okay, that we could do that. We had the ego strength to take it and to modify our beliefs and still be like great friends. So yeah, I think that's an important thing. And you're right, Estelle Getty in The Golden Girls really like epitomized that kind of behavior.
Yeah, that honest truth that you just have to hear sometimes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to surgically remove your head from your rear end, and that's just not fun. So,
you just got to squeeze a little harder there, Scott. Grab onto something.
All right.
Okay, so it's your turn, Scott. Go for it.
No, it's Damien's.
Oh, we're doing
we're going that way. Okay,
yeah.
I see now. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right. Which one? I'm just gonna go with the top one. I'm gonna go with June Osborne in The Handmaid's Tale. As crazy and vindictive and so on and so forth, and all of the mistakes that she makes, but she will do anything for her children, you know, and literally anything, including kill. Quite a few.
As any
people.
Good mother should.
Yeah. So and just the lengths that she goes to for her own children and other children too. It's just like, that's slightly psychopathic, but still, that's a good mom right there. So, yeah.
Well, and in terrible situations,
yes,
like that is.
Oh yeah,
like,
I can understand it 100%.
Sometimes you have to be a little bit psychopathic, right?
Yeah,
because like that is like I talk about the oligarchy and oppression. That is oligarchy and oppression, right?
And sometimes the only way to fight that,
yeah. I always say you put someone in a corner and give them, and the only option that you give them is to fight. You know, if the only option out that you give them is through you, they will take that, right?
Yeah.
And that's honestly what they give her and the women in that that show.
I had a grandmother like that. If anything was ever going down and going bad, I would call my grandmother and she would set things right by nuking everything.
Wow.
She was a force of nature. So yeah. Good maternal instinct.
That's basically what she does is nuke everything. Yeah.
and can we also mention, like, so it played by Elizabeth Moss. Like, can we mention, like, I honestly did not realize, like, because I think she grew into her character in Mad Men, like, as the seasons went on, but like I did not fully grasp the quality of actress that she is.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Acting chops.
Oh my goodness,
yes.
man. She's exceptional.
Yeah.
God, like even in The Invisible Man or whatever.
She's really good
like
in that
movie.
too,
Oh yeah, like her expression of terror and you think about like these movie sets, there's like, it's not terrifying, right? Like when you're on stage and you got people, like you can at least use a little bit of that like innate stage fright that we all sort of like even after at that point you mildly have, right? You can pull onto that to kind of bring that in or whatever. Like to pull it out in like a stage, like, oh
Yeah.
like she
And
is
in The
exceptional.
Invisible Man, she's literally reacting to nothing. But
Right.
It's not even like a CG creation. It's nothing.
Right. Or
There's
another
nothing
person,
there.
right? You can't feed
Yeah.
off of anything.
Yeah.
It's all just in her, right? That she's trying to
Mhm.
pull it out. She is exceptional. Like she has blown me away with how good of an actor she is.
I agree 100%. Yeah. The way she shows like anger and sadness and fear and I mean just all of the emotions in A Handmaid's Tale or The Handmaid's Tale. It's just very and part of it's the story, but like rarely will I admit that there's a story or an actress that can literally make like draw the tears out of me kind of thing,
Mhm.
and she can do it. So
Yeah.
because like I can
And-
feel her how she
and-
feels,
Yeah, and feel
completely
the rage.
empathize. Yeah, the
You
rage.
know, I mean, it's
the-
like
you
you've taken my kids away. The
Yeah.
world is crap. I will watch it all burn.
Exactly,
You're gonna
yeah.
enjoy watching
Exactly.
me do it.
Yes,
You know.
yes.
Mhm.
Oh, and it's so good because like it's such a good show because and she's so good in it because like especially as a girl dad, right? Like I've got two girls, Damien has two girls. Like I started to watch that show and I actually had to like stop because of how
Yeah.
like realistic and like the terror that it brought up for like my own girls, especially like because I was watching it during a point in time when like the attacks on women's liberties were really starting. Like again, nothing like what that show is, but some of those like
Mhm.
early little cues, right? That of regression, right? And like it was just too realistic, especially like when you watch too much like political shows, like they just jingoistically get you riled up and everything. And so like that on top, right? Exactly. And so that on top of like this show, like it was like I had to stop it. Like I want to go back and rewatch it or restart it, but yeah, I had to stop it. It was
I have to take
was too
breaks.
much.
I can't watch it. I can't watch more than one episode at a time, and I can't watch more than like 2 or 3 days in a row. Where I'm just like I gotta walk away from this.
Yeah.
Because
I'm such an annoying
pisses
like
me off so much
purist
sometimes.
and a completionist. I feel like I have to read the book first, and then I have to watch the original movie, and then I can watch the TV show.
Oh yeah. I haven't read the book. I really want to, like the book that inspired it all. Yeah,
We
and the
have it.
movie.
My wife loves it. She read it for the first time when she was a teenager, and it just like changed her life apparently. So
Mhm.
Oh, that explains so much. No, I'm just kidding. And it's all things that I love. Like
makes sense now.
It's all the things I love about your wife. Like she like, but no. Okay, so I would be remiss, and my daughters would kill me if I don't start with this one, or at least make sure I mention this one, and that is Chili from the TV show Bluey. That is the mom. Like you guys won't know this one because your kids are older, but you honestly, you guys really do. You guys really need to watch Bluey, especially even though your kids are older. And Damien, your younger one, like she would love Bluey, and you'll love it too. It's really like
what is it on? What network or what?
It's on
what
Disney
streaming service. Okay,
it's on
I
Disney.
Get that. Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
It is exceptional. Like my daughter and I have gone through all 3 seasons 6 times. And that's only because I've had to do like hiatuses of like, we got to watch something else, kiddo. We've got to watch something else. Like, but like it's really good. And there's this one that's, it's the space one. I cannot remember it. And the only one that really talks is the mom. But it's all like sort of like acted out rather than like using words. And it's one of the most heartfelt and emotionally diverse works of art I have ever seen. It is so exceptional. And the message that it kind of portrays, especially the mom telling this to her children or to her youngest child, like is so moving. And it's you know, and it's again this child dreaming about going through space, right? And it all the different emotions that it plays on, and all the different stuff, and the heartfeltness. It's a really good show. And like that's why you see so many, like there's so many videos out there of like dads and grown-ups like talking about like, okay, this is called a kid show, but let's be honest, this is for us, right? Like it's really, it's like a whole family kind of show. It's really, really well done. And new episodes are coming out on July 12th. And so the new season's coming out on July 12th. It's an Australian show that's coming up, that's coming over here. But yeah, July 12th, the new season comes out. And so my daughter's already explained to me that we're going to have to like watch, like go through it yet again.
She said, it's like, no, Dad, you don't understand.
Yeah.
You're going to watch this with me.
Yeah. This whole thing. And so, yeah, but no, Chili's are really good because again, like, and again, some of the ways that they kind of play moms and dad roles and stuff like that. Chili is a really good mom and a much better parent than I am. Like, because again, they're the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, right. And they're honest, right? So it's not like utopian, and they make their mistakes, but like talking things through. Like I'm like, I need to make sure I use that more and do that more. And it's a really good show. So anyway.
Well, leading off of that, like I'm gonna name one that just occurred to me that's not on my list because it's from a early kids show, like a PBS kids show that like my son used to watch, Sid the Science Kid. Sid's mom, whenever Sid would like come up to her and be like, I want to learn about how to do this thing and I want to run this crazy experiment using all the kitchen utensils, she would like drop whatever she was doing and she'd be like, okay, we can do that. Let's figure out a way to do that that's safe and reasonable, and you can learn science that way. It's like I know she would really nurture. Thank you. Nurture that urge in him, that empirical urge to just learn and do it the right way. And she would teach him all these important lessons, but also again being a really good parent in that she would give him her full attention, no matter how busy she was with other things. And there were times where she was really, really busy with other things. She would find time to do this with her son. And her son, Sid the Science Kid, is just like always enthusiastic about everything. He's great. But I just feel like that is a really good role model for us parents while we're having to watch this show because our kids are watching it. To remind us what a perfect parent should be. Because none of us can live up to that. Right. But it's a good reminder.
Right. Right, because we all just have to do our mental checks through today, right? Because and I say this all the time, and it really goes, because when you think, like again, I'm a little bit political, but when you think about like what we're paid hourly,
Scott, a little bit political, what?
Never.
But when you think about what we're paid hourly, right? That hour of time, right? And when you think about like the end of your days, and you're on your deathbed, and you've got your family around you, what you would pay to have one more hour with your kids. Right before having to say goodbye, right? Like nothing we get paid equates to that, right? And so when we talk about minimum wage, when we talk about these things, it's all really laughable, right? Because the most precious thing that we have is time, right? And so like when we like think about our children, what we're devoting our time to rather than them. And again, I do this all the time, right? It like, I'm because I'm one of those that there's always tomorrow for things, right? I'm the worst about that, right? Mm-hmm. And so when we think about like what we're devoting our time, this most valuable thing that we will never get back, that second, like all of that crap that I just said, I'm never getting that back. That time that I spent saying that, I'm never getting that back. There's nothing I can do to get that back, right? So that when we think about time and our time, the most precious, valuable resource that we have, and where we devote it, and the fact that we devote so much to other people rather than what's actually truly valuable to us, and that we're not getting compensated properly for that because we're never, like they get to have all the time in the world to do whatever they want, but we have to sacrifice our most precious resource to make them profits that we will never really see, right? And to me, like that's such an atrocious thing, right? And so like when we think about when we watch these like shows and stuff like that, it's a good reminder to say, this is the most precious, valuable thing that we could ever possibly have. And where are we putting it, right? And so, like, to me, like, you know, like the commoditization of our time or whatever, I'm like, okay, fine. Like, we want to do that. Let's talk about it. Right. And again, it's just these little things are always good reminders. And the thing that I appreciate about these like utopian moms that we see, of reminders to that, right? Especially as we're watching it rather than just tuning out, really paying attention to that.
And the idea
Being
of
mindful.
like making profit for our children just kind of rings weird to me from the word profit, because we all know I named my son after Thomas Jefferson, but we also named him after the Who's Tommy, who becomes a prophet.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So yeah, that's all. Just want to say that.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
anyway.
Joe.
Me, my turn again. Okay, we're going back to the 80s. Elise Keaton, Family Ties.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Was on my list. That's one of my 5.
Yeah, that's on my list as well.
Sorry to steal.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Go ahead, take it.
No, it's just, just a loving, caring mom who has winds up raising a son who has completely antithetical political and world view.
She's like a hardcore
and
liberal feminist, and he's basically a young Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
He's a Reaganite.
and doesn't care, still everybody loves each other in the show. Yeah, they have their usual family problems, it's that split, both of them, both parents, working, but her job and her political action, going out and helping out the community and stuff like that, having that impact, the relationship with family and learning that, how to balance the two, and having a career, I don't know, just a good, I guess, influential mom from when I was a kid.
No, she's fantastic, and I do agree completely with all of that. She was just a good demonstration that you can love your children even if you think they're going down some different path that you can't follow, and you can still nurture them and care for them and give them all the lessons they need to live life, even if they're not your clone, because let's face it, your children aren't really your clone. Sometimes you think they are, but they're not. They're gonna do their own thing, and you have to accept that. And I think that's a perfect example. She's great.
Yeah. No, and she was number 16 on my list. But no, like she 16. But no, like I really like what you kind of say, because I think that's something that, especially like nowadays, and I'm the one that's on Twitter for us. God help us all. And
hive of scum and villainy.
Are you going to move us over to Threads?
Yeah, really.
Leave the
was that Meta or whatever?
Yeah, like
the Zuckerberg version. Yeah,
I know. I was already in the process of trying to like get us set up on Mastodon, and I'm like, oh, then Thread comes out, and I'm like, oh man, come on now. Like, what are y'all trying to do to me? Like,
how many Twitters do we need?
I know, like, what? Come on, people. Like, anyway, so
do you need me to set up a LiveJournal or a MySpace account?
I know, right? No, it's funny. Somebody's like, why did we ever leave MySpace? And I'm like, y'all, like, come on, y'all, like, we've been doing this LiveJournal, right? Why did we ever leave LiveJournal? Like, that was fine.
Anyways, I only discovered like recently the LiveJournal is still there. Everything I'd ever written on LiveJournal was still there. So I immediately made them all private.
Right? I can't figure out my password. And so I didn't even know the email that I used. Joe had to like figure it out. Like I couldn't find it. He was like, oh yeah, this is what I was like, oh wait, I remember I used to have that email.
I don't even have that email anymore that I used for that one.
I know, right? Like I'm trying to get the password and it's like, we sent it to your email. I'm like, but it doesn't exist anymore. What are you doing? Anyways, like I don't want this up there. So anyways, but it's stuck. It's there forever. And so if I get known at all, it'll come back to haunt me, and I'll be like, "Yep, I was stupid."
The internet is forever.
Yep, I was what can I say? I was a young moron. What could like anybody that age? Like I said, stupid stuff.
Yeah,
my brain wasn't developed. That's what happens. So anyways, like and I grew up. And so anyways, like I really love that construct of the, like being on
Hey,
Twitter.
Thrash.
Oh, Thrash.
Why did
is
we
here?
leave
Thrash
GeoCities?
is here.
Hey, Cassie.
Oh,
Yay!
sweet.
Yay,
What
Thrash!
up?
Big,
Why did we
massive
leave
friend to the
Geos?
show. But no, like I know I like that GeoCities. That
Why
was
did
well
we
done.
leave GeoCities?
Yeah, that was really well done. Great.
Soho,
call, Alex.
1815. That was me.
And so like the what I don't see is like anymore is that, and it's something I try to talk about a lot on Twitter, especially with some of the other people that are starting to. We're actually no longer just getting the like Russian bots that are like, here's an attractive women's picture, like we're gonna follow you so that you can come look at our like porn site or whatever. Like instead of those things, right? Like or our adult site. Let me phrase it.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. Like now we're actually getting people, and a lot of them are younger, and so I like following us, and so I always try to put in this like have one person that doesn't agree with you in your life, right? Because like when you get in this echo chamber, like it gets like for both, like regardless of the side that you're on, like it gets really, really toxic. And again, I just watched the John Adams anyways, no, but the John Adams miniseries. It really shows like here's two really good friends, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, and the thing that they worried about. Yeah, exactly. I'm John, like the John Adams to my Thomas Jefferson, right? And so like it really showed like their concern about development of parties that you started, and it modeled that like even back then, and how toxic it got that they were supporting the party rather than the country. Mm-hmm. Right? Like we really were supposed to be the United States. And so this party system is exactly what we're seeing. And it's always been, and it's the antithesis to what this country was actually attempting to do, right? It's actually been stagnating us more than moving us forward, because we root for our party over our country, right? We would rather see our party succeed than our country, right? And so like family ties, I think, is this beautiful thing that we used to have where families disagreed. Like my family absolutely split. There was like on my dad's side, there was 3 people that were Republican, 3 people that were Democrat, and 3 kids that were Republican, 3 kids that were Democratic. And so and there were disagreements, but you always came together at the Thanksgiving dinner, and you sat and you respected each other. You didn't talk about politics, and you had you supped together, right?
Yeah, our family policy growing up was we don't talk about politics.
Right.
It was period. It was not brought up. And if you did bring up politics, my uncle would chime in and be like, "We don't talk about that." Right. He was very stern about those things. And to this day, I've tried to, like, he won't even let me know what his political beliefs are. Like to this day, I've tried to like pry it out of him. No, he won't talk about it. It's like, okay.
My family absolutely will let you know at every single, and again, that's probably why I have a hard time pulling back, because all of my relatives like would let you know on everything where they stand, every moment where they stand. And so I think that's like when I'm like, it'll come in, and I think that's where I learned it like early on was from that. Anyways, but like the family coming together like despite disagreements, I think that's a lesson that's been very much lost, because again, we don't have families in the home, we have families in the workplace, and kids are left to be raised by Jerry Springer.
I hate to sound like an old curmudgeon, but I also feel like we've lost the respect for other people's opinions.
Yeah.
We've gotten to the point where we don't tolerate people if their political opinions are different from ours. And that is a trend that seems to be getting worse and worse and worse with every year. And I think that is definitely to our detriment as a country and as a society. So, yeah.
Well, and also like, also like I brought up earlier that I just got banned or blocked by someone when I earnestly was trying to help them, but they couldn't. But it's so toxic, like in social media that we don't know who's actually trying to help us and who's actually being like rude, right? Because again, you don't get the tonal context. It's just written. So you get,
especially on Twitter, people just always assume you're being rude. Like it's
exactly
default. Yeah.
Right. Because again, it's so much. And the thing I get frustrated when I hear people talk about like, why did we ever leave MySpace? And I'm like, look, these social medias are what we make it. Like I always hear these clamors for like this to be better, but we've made it this. So why aren't you changing? It starts with you. Don't ask other people to make it different. You be different, right? And so, anyways, sorry.
Yes, Daryl, let it flow through you. Anarchy.
Piper wanted to join the podcast.
The cat. That'll get us a new subscriber, I'm sure.
There we go. Daryl's gonna side with Eric's wife and become an anarchist.
Anarchist, yeah.
Burn it all down. So.
And Zuper is here. Woohoo! Hello, Zuper.
What's up?
You say the word curmudgeon and Zuper appears.
Supernatural at home.
He was on my list.
Yeah. That's all right.
Okay,
Damien.
Oh yeah, Damien's turn.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's see. We'll go with let me put the cat down. She's running. All right. Gonna go with Joyce Byers from Stranger Things, played by Winona Ryder.
Also on my list.
It was on your list? Yeah.
Good. No, that's good.
She's excellent.
Yeah, she's an excellent mom. She's she's got her little crazy streak, but who wouldn't if her kids were going through what they were going through through that whole thing, with the her son disappearing and her older son and being slightly distant at times, and then the ex-husband that's just deadbeat dad kind of thing. So understand why she's got her issues, but she would do anything for her kids, including fight off demi dogs and
and go to Cold War Russia.
Yeah, go to Cold War Russia.
Right?
Exactly. Anything for her kids.
Yeah.
And for the people that she loves. Yeah, she'd do anything for them. So yeah, she's a great mom as far as I'm concerned, including string up lights in the living room and walk around like a crazy person. And
she doesn't care what anybody else thinks.
No. She's like, he's talking to me through the lights. It's like, right.
And also, I just want to highlight Winona Ryder. Like, she blows that character away. She's amazing as it.
Yes.
Like, I've always liked Winona Ryder, but I've never really respected her that much as an actress, as her talent. But in that show, in Stranger Things, she really shows her range. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think that she's kind of like the perfect person for it because, first off, Winona Ryder, I have had a crush on her since the 80s.
See you taking that shower. There's
Oh my
really
god!
close, but,
I've had was it Heather's and then the one with the anyways. So
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, well, Beetlejuice, but there's some others before that. But it's just massive crush on her. I think with Joyce, it's having a really beautiful woman in that role is fitting for that, for that character, right? Because there's a lot of leeway given to people that are attractive, right?
Yeah.
Right. Just socially, honestly, right? And and then on top of it, Winona Ryder herself is a little bit kooky. Because her godfather was Timothy Leary, she grew up in a kooky family, right? And so when people when she does kooky things like that not to bring up bad stuff or whatever, but or people's worst experiences.
On a commune, so
right. You know what? Anyways, you know what? Hungry Jerk, you might change my mind on me developing a commune for my friends and stuff. And so
it's not a commune. It's not a commune.
It's a collective, right?
It's a co-op.
It's a collective, right? And so but anyways, but yeah, so she's like, when she was like caught, like, you know, shoplifting, and there was speculation about kleptomania and stuff like that or whatever, and like she's like, you know, if she has her own mental health issues or whatever, like I think all of that just sort of like helps to play into this character, right? And some of the behaviors that she, like, the character does, right, is because the character like has gone through life, and you can't go through the life that oh really?
Amazing.
That's awesome
For him.
but
yeah.
so like, no, like so it
Hi, Danny.
like the things that she went through with her ex-husband and all this different stuff, there's a injury, a mental health, like a mental injury that someone goes through with that, and then to what she goes through with her kid. Like, again, you're gonna, like, if she doesn't come out with at least PTSD, if not more, like, I would not be surprised, right? And so like, right, when you see a Demigorgon and you're like, the what? And like, your kid was in another dimension of like evilness, like what? Like if you just have PTSD, you have skated through life. Like, if that's all you come out with, like, if you're not like full on like having schizophrenia and stuff like that, then you are doing great, right? And so and if you're a little bit kooky, right, then you're doing fantastic. So again,
I think she played very well, being, you know, like that character that's right on the edge of falling off, you know, like skating that razor's edge right there. That's kind of how I see her. She's just like
masterful,
just about to tip over, but then somebody comes along and gives her a hand and pulls her back every time, you know. So
she's one I honestly don't think anyone could have done it better.
No, she really was the perfect actress for that role. So yeah.
All right, is it my turn? Okay.
I think it is your turn.
Yes. So I gotta go, like, if you just have PTSD, you skate through life.
We're gonna have to make your statement a shirt, right?
Right.
There you go.
There we go. That's our next shirt. All right. Someone please make sure, like, write these down as we go. If you listen to our podcast, we say these, and I'm like, man, we're gonna have to go through so many hours of our
and just writing down lines,
writing down like all the crap that we said that we should have made into a t-shirt. Anyways, so 3 of us went to school with this person. I have to bring this person up because I think that, like, everything that people like, this can't be real about this person. 100% is real. I used to do theater with her. It's Katie Mixon as Katie Otto in American Housewife. In that show, she is a phenomenal mom. Like, the person that wrote it because she was an overweight person living in a very, like, the trophy wife area, right? And didn't fit that model, or, you know, that model established by this community. And so always felt like an outsider and all this stuff, and had to really just be herself in order to support her kids, get her family through this, and the struggles of this, right? Of not fitting into a community. And I think Katie did an excellent job with that role. And I think that it's a like she's a very like very genuine person, I think. And then I think it comes out in the characters that she plays, and also in the interviews. Like, the interviews, like, you know, is she really like that? She really has that Southern accent. She really has that deep Southern accent. She really is that genuinely nice, kind person, compassionate person. And so, yeah.
Was she in Hell or High Water?
Hell or High Water?
Have you ever seen that movie? She was.
Yeah.
She was the waitress. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, the bank robbing one?
Yeah.
She was in that, and then she's been in a few others. She was
thought
also
that was her. I kept on, every time I saw her in that movie. I've seen that movie like 6 times. I love that movie. Every time I see her in it, I'm like, God, I know that person.
Yeah. She's also the more attractive person in Mike or sister in Mike and Molly. And so, like, yeah. And she was also in Eastbound and Down.
Mhm.
She was the love interest or whatever in Eastbound and Down. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, I just had to bring her up because first off, she's an excellent mom in that show. It's a great show. Dietrich, I'm going to say his name wrong, but Dietrich Bader or whatever, the guy that was in Office Space. It was like 2 chicks at one time, right? Like I hope when he, when his time comes,
dude, you don't need $1 million to do 2 chicks at one time. If you go double up on a guy like me, I do.
I hope that's his on his in 50 years when he finally does pass away. I hope that's on his gravestone. It's like that phrase because it's just one of the best lines ever in a movie.
Yeah.
But no, and he does it and he executes
2 chicks at one time.
But he's the dad in the show. It's a great show. It's on syndication now. It's a really great show. So yeah. Anyways.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yes, Eric.
Yes.
I'm going to say Claire Huxtable.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Felicia Rashad almost feels like my mother. She's so good as Claire Huxtable. A working mom, really busy, but again, she has lots of kids and she's able to wrangle them and be nice to them and be nurturing. But at the same time, if things are going down, she was never afraid to lay down the law.
Oh, yeah.
And when she was mad, everything stopped.
The mom look, right?
Exactly.
She gave a great mom look.
Yeah, and she basically plays the exact same role in the Creed movies, and I just love her so much.
Oh yeah. She's phenomenal.
And she had to keep Bill in line in that show the whole time.
He kept on trying to no wonder. I want to go back and watch that entire series. Just as the entire show to see if she ever accepts a drink from him.
Just go back and watch it and see if you see Bill kind of hiding.
Ever give her a drink in that show? Does Bill ever?
What's Bill doing back there?
And if he doesn't, I'll be like, "That's right, Felicia. That's why I love that woman because she ain't taking it. She's like, no, don't you dare come near me with that. No, she's a powerful woman just by herself, right? And she is such a great advocate for she was such a great advocate for the African American community and her character, right? And so often how, especially in the 80s, how Black people were portrayed for a pediatrician I think it was he's an OBGYN and a lawyer, right? To be raising these kids and to show no, they're everybody has the dark side, yet also the positive. Why is this not normal, right? And so the fact that they kind of normalize this, opposed to all the shows where you have the impoverished, the drug-addled, or Huggy Bear, the pimp, right? There were certain roles that Black people were consistently portrayed on and still struggle with, right? And to normalize the extremely successful Black family in America, I think was, especially during the 80s when you're talking about crack on the news and crime on the news, hard push towards the Black community and posting those on local news. She was a great model.
Tom, I wanted to highlight this comment because I did want to say I considered both Brady and the Beef's mom, and I also considered Mrs. What's her name from Happy Days? Cunningham, Mrs. Cunningham.
I actually have June Cleaver on my list. But...
Oh, okay.
Well,
good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to let you know, yes, it is a little before our time, but we still do recognize the classics.
When I was a little kid and all we had was the 13 channels, or not even that, because half of them didn't come in. Then we had the rabbit ears didn't, get there for us. One of the few channels that came in during daytime TV had Leave It to Beaver, and I watched that with my babysitter quite often. So
welcome, Keith. Hello.
So I will say that let's go ahead. Can you go back to his post?
Which one? Hungry Jerks.
Yeah. Okay. What's his actual name?
Tom.
Thank you. Yes. Tom.
Easy for me to remember because my son's name is Tom. So.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So for Mrs. Brady, I've got Florence Henderson, Carol Brady as Carol Brady, Brady Bunch as number 26. So I'll cross that off. Excellent mom, and on top of it, the fact that it was a divorced family that's uniting together, a blended family, right? Well, no, they both were divorced and then come together to make up a blended family.
Blended family.
Blended the families together. Yeah.
Yes, that's called a blended family.
Okay,
that's not what I
was excessive. Yeah, I could simplify.
Not the
You're
kind
right.
of blended family I think of usually.
Yeah, but anyways,
you're thinking more like Texas Chainsaw
Jeffrey Dahmer,
Massacre, Jeffrey Dahmer.
I'm from the Midwest and the South. I'm thinking
Jeffrey
of like just one straight line for the family tree.
Joe's going to make a Brady Bunch shake.
But no, like
Marsha.
So, like Florence Henderson was 26 behind Estelle, like Sophia from Golden Girls at 24, and Felicia Rashad at 25. So they're on there. And Happy Days. Here it is. Marion Ross. That's actually 23. Marion Ross is Marion Cunningham on Happy Days. Another great mom. So we'll go ahead and cross those out because they are on my list. And so, Tom.
Yeah, so there.
we just didn't get there yet.
Backdoor Films just sounds like it should be something completely different. I'm just saying.
But I can enjoy a good blaxploitation flick, sure. Like, those are a blast.
They are phenomenal. Yeah,
a lot of those in college.
All right. Okay, my turn.
Wait. Eric's turn.
Joe's turn. I did.
Joe's turn.
My turn.
Yes, Joe's turn.
Sorry.
And then it's my turn.
Yeah,
okay.
no. I'm sorry. Damien and Leave It to Beaver is what.
Okay.
No, sorry.
Joe. Yeah. I was gonna go with Florida Evans.
Who?
Oh yeah.
Florida Evans.
From Good Days or
yeah,
Good
from
Times.
Good Times.
Good Times. Yeah.
Who started, if I remember correctly, the chat will probably know. I think she started off with Maude, which ties into the Golden Girls as well. But anyway, yeah, just the the strong mother, trying to take care of the family, husband. I think if memory serves, going back, was a lot of times between jobs, not quite sure how, bills were going to get paid, but making sure that everybody was taken care of and everybody was loved and not let the stress get to them too much. But yet again, that, kind of Claire Huxtable's strong mother character keeps everybody in line and doesn't take crap.
Yeah,
always appreciated.
Esther Roll was a phenomenal actress, and like her like damn like moment is just like one of the like best moments in TV history. Like just so powerful, like so. Yeah. She was number 21. On the list. Again, before our time, but we did
he actually took time to number his.
That's right. I got them all numbered. Yeah. That's right. No,
mine are just kind of on there.
Yeah. I've just got like a notepad open.
Again,
exactly.
Nursing makes you neurotic, and so
I can attest. My mother was pretty neurotic.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and actually going back with. I want to say it was her appearance in Maude. I can't remember. It might have been a different actress, but that initial episode of Maude when she was hiring a maid was like, you go back and watch it now, it's like super like kind of like uncomfortable.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because she's like,
yep, she was. Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. It was Florida. Yep, it was.
Yeah,
it was Esther Roll as Florida Evans. Yep.
And she didn't take crap. She didn't take that whole like I'm trying to be extra nice to you because you're black thing. She's like, what the hell's wrong with you? It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Conrad Bain was in that show.
In what?
Conrad Bain from what you talking about, Willis?
Good Times?
No.
Oh.
Conrad Bain. He
what about
adopted the two black kids.
What's the name of the? Welcome back.
No.
No.
Back, Cotter.
Different Strokes.
Different Strokes.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Anyways, Different Strokes. Yeah. So like,
That was a good show.
It used to always come on after the Cosby Show, so I would watch both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I didn't realize that he was also in Maude. So like, anyways, okay, sorry, my bad. That's Conrad Bain. Anyways, sorry. Okay, go ahead, Damien.
Oh, my turn. Okay. Sticking with my like newer shows theme I've been going with here. I'm gonna go with Caitlin Stark, played by Michelle Fairley from Game of Thrones, for the obvious reasons of, you know, basically going to war for her children, you know, at one point during the whole thing, and constantly trying to position. I mean, I know that whole show is like the antithesis of like good parenting for the most part. But
there's not a lot of good parenting.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of like, you know, bad things going on. But you know, she did try to position her family to be forthright and upright, and you know, and do what's right, and take care of their own and the Northern Territory, or whatever it was called. It's been a while since I watched Game of Thrones at this point, but
I think they just called it the North.
The North, yes, the North. Yeah, the Northern Kingdom. Anyway, yeah, she was constantly trying to take care of her people and the North, and the best way to do that was to get rid of the tyrant king, you know, so, and their entire family. So anyway, anybody else's thoughts on that? Yeah.
No, it's a good choice. And she was like too good and too moral to survive very long. But she survived a lot longer than she should have.
Yeah.
Yes. But I also think she was prepared because, you know, her husband was Sean Bean, so he was doomed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean Bean.
And as an aside on the same show, and I didn't bring her up first because, well, she's the mother of dragons, not necessarily the mother of children, but she did love her dragons, Daenerys Targaryen. So, but yeah, she, except for the part where she stuck them in the hole and forgot about them for, you know,
she had some issues to work out.
Yeah, well, you know, she didn't want them eating people.
Yeah, she didn't work them out real well.
Until she did.
Let it all burn.
I was about to say, she turned into Eric's wife.
Sometimes you gotta burn it down, build it up again.
I will say, I did not put, even though I've watched the whole like series and I've read the like almost all the books except for like some of the later ones, but like I did not put any Game of Thrones characters on my list. So of the 56, so like, that's a really good choice, actually.
Yeah, and the worst mom, I guess, would be what, Cersei?
Cersei, for sure. Like, that's not even a question.
I mean, it starts off with her, you know, kicking a kid off a tower. You know.
Yeah.
Spoilers, sorry.
Yeah.
That's like the first episode, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's incest in the first episode.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, folks, how's it going?
No, I like that they were like, well, we can't put all of the like the dragons and the magic and all that stuff. We can hint at it, but we can't put it in like really in the first season because otherwise it'll be too much for people to watch. So what we'll do is in the first episode, we'll try to murder a small child and also have sex with have intimate relationships with our sister. And
just so people know what they're getting.
That's acceptable, right? That's acceptable.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's realistic. And so
I wanted to highlight this one, Tom, because I did watch a lot of Donna Reed. It was on like Nick at Night. When I was a teenager, I didn't sleep at night. I slept when I was at class. So I watched a lot of Donna Reed.
I mean,
and Donna Reed to me is like that like prototypical 50s housewife character. Like all the good things about that, like all the idealized form of that.
The nostalgia.
Yeah, and there's a lot of nostalgia there. So yeah, Donna Reed, absolutely. I do love Donna Reed.
All right. So
whose turn is it?
It's mine.
Okay.
All right. So this is going to be a twofer, like one actress, two roles. Jessica Walter as Lucille Bluth, in Arrested Development, not because she's a great mom, but she's an iconic mom in television.
She's very
I think.
iconic,
Yeah.
yes.
And then also Jessica Walter as Mallory Archer in the TV show Archer, because again, not
Same
because she's a
reasons.
great mom, but she is an iconic mom in TV. To me, I think she'll be like legendary. And then I'll also just throw in, because it is Archer, Aisha Taylor as Lana Kane, because again, not a great mom, but an iconic character, and iconic mom. And so, yeah, just getting, so it may be 3 for 1 or whatever, but.
I love Jessica Walter.
Oh, when she died, I was so sad about that. Like, but again, like her role in as Lucille Bluth is just, every character in that show was just like exceptional, right? And it's so well written, so well done. But like her role with Tobias, I think it is. No, not Tobias. What's the other, the son that was always like strapped at her hip. Anyways, like her relationship with him, with her youngest son, was just so phenomenal.
Not coming to my brain.
I know. Like I
really
see the actor.
He had the hook for the hand for the.
Yes. Oh, wait, I'm a monster. Right. Like, just exceptional. Like, and you, Tony Hale as Buster. That's what it is.
Buster.
That's it.
Of course.
And so, like, but like, you look at like how disturbed her whole family. Like, you got Will Arnett as Job, and it's like, like he can't do a chicken or whatever, and like, and then like Portia de Rossi is like Lindsay. Like, all of her kids are just. Like, even Michael, like, is who's the sanest of them all.
He's still neurotic as hell.
Has massive issues, right? And so, like, she like absolutely like failed as a mom, but it like just in a beautiful way, right? And again, like her priorities, all this different stuff, just an iconic mom to me.
Well, you've set me up again perfectly, because I'm going to pick Jessica Walter yet again as Fran Sinclair from Dinosaurs.
Yes.
I forgot.
Yes.
Well done.
Very good.
Yes.
She
was.
I didn't even think about that.
That was actually a good mom.
She was a good mom. She wasn't like your typical
exceptional
Jessica
mom. Yeah.
Walter snarky alcoholic. Fran was a good mom. She was very wholesome. She was a little naive, especially in the Happy Plant episode, but she was a good mom, and she put up with a lot. She put up with a lot of crap from her kids and from her dolt of a husband, but like she was always cheerful about it, and she always managed to keep a brave face in the face of her family, her chaotic family.
I always loved the refrigerator in that show.
Old food never dies.
Yes, exactly.
Goes bad.
So good. That's such a good show. I'm trying to get my girls to watch that one with me.
Not the mama.
I know, right? Oh, that's such a great.
I gotta rewatch that show. That was such a great show.
It was a great show. I think it's on Disney Plus, because it was an
my
ABC.
oldest,
Probably. Yeah.
My oldest was afraid of that show when she was a little girl. When she was little, like 4 or 5. You know, I tried to play it for her once, and she was like, "That's scary. I don't like that show." It's like, but you love dinosaurs. They're not like dinosaurs.
The guy on the top left of the screen is an.
I think that's you.
I think that is. Yeah. You know what, Tom? That is the best way. That is the nicest way to describe me, and probably the least accurate, but
interesting dude indeed. Yes. Quite interesting.
It's like on a cooking show, and when one of the judges will say, "This is interesting," yeah,
It's different. It's different.
This food has definitely gone bad. That's a nice way to say
I'm
it.
almost done coffee.
But I didn't even realize that was Jessica Walter until I was like looking up TV moms, and I saw that she was Fran from Dinosaurs. I'm like, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. And like, you know what? And the, like, again, like she's. I should like the fact that I didn't have that on there. That was a great call, Eric.
I'm so glad I had it at the ready.
Yeah.
When you said you had her twice, I was like, oh crap, he knows. Because I was just waiting for somebody to mention Arrested Development.
And President Garcia Thompson.
Of course,
PCU.
President Garcia Thompson. Yes.
Bring
With
it
the
back,
whipping crane.
Bring it back to politics.
Was she in? I
Yeah.
forgot about
Yeah.
that.
So much.
Oh, I gotta
What are
go
you doing here,
rewatch that.
Moonbeam?
I love that movie.
Oh God, that was such a great
I wanted to
movie.
watch it not long ago, but it's not on any of the streaming channels that I watch. Or
I have it on
DVD.
DVD, but I remember it was really hard to find.
I have it on
Got
VHS, and I don't have a working
My
VHS player
copy of
anymore.
it on VHS came from HBO. It was
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
it was
Yeah.
a recording.
I bought it in the dollar bin at friggin' Walmart like 20 years ago or something. I was like, ooh, or more than that now, 25 years ago.
Such a great movie. Meat
Mhm.
tosser.
We're not gonna protest.
So anyway, Joe, your pick.
Oh crap. Me again. Where was I gonna go? It's one that we had brought up before. But the particular version was Morticia from the Addams Family
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
growing up.
I knew somebody was
which
gonna bring
I
this up.
believe Carolyn Jones was the actress.
Yes.
I'm sure
yes.
our
Carolyn
content-
Jones.
It's
Yeah,
on my
it's-
list
no,
too, so-
I've got
Yes.
it right here.
Yeah.
Number 11. It's Carolyn Jones.
She couldn't even make your top 10, Scott.
Well,
She's
there's
in my
the-
top
wrong
10,
with-
man. I don't know about you.
I wasn't rating it on like the ones I like the most. I was just writing them down as I thought about them.
Like if she were on my list, she'd be number 6.
Right.
So
Yeah.
No, Carolyn Jones. Oh,
Yeah.
No,
So,
but yeah.
so that was going to be my next one, but anyway, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's
to
all, no,
steal.
it's all good, man.
Sorry to
Someone's got to
is
bring
that
her up.
really Jessica Walters in Play Misty for me? I've got to look that up because that's amazing.
okay. Go ahead, Joe.
you know,
Go ahead, keep talking.
For obvious reasons, it's just
That totally was her in Play Misty for me. That's amazing.
yeah, the mother of oddball, an oddball herself, did not fit into anything stereotypical other than, her and her husband loved each other
Mhm.
and had no qualms about, showing it in front of anybody, but just the oddball, like going through and taking perfectly good roses and cutting all the blooms off because,
And talk about loving your children no matter what. I mean,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and she like totally just always, and we brought this up last time we talked about movie moms, but was very encouraging to her children to be, as spooky and kooky
Let
and
your
whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
As they want to be, be the
Yeah,
individuals that they
you
want to
all
be.
the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To be themselves, right?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
like one of the things I like, because in some portrayals that I don't like is that and I think it's very anti her, right? Is that she's like in some portrayals, like when the kids aren't spooky enough, like she gets a little bit upset about that. And to me, I think that's very anti Morticia Addams. Like what I see her as is, not the anti, like they'll play like some portrayals will play the oddball versus the normie, a little bit too much, right? And that she becomes the polar opposite, but equal, right, on the other end of the spectrum as the normie moms trying to keep their kids to be normal, right, rather than the spooky. And they'll portray her as trying to keep the kids spooky rather than becoming normal, right? Like, oh my God, you've gotten pink hair or whatever. And I'm like, to me, that's never been Morticia.
The more recent cartoons do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I hate that, right? Because again, Morticia's, it's not about trying to make her kids spooky. And I think that's a misunderstanding of the character. Like to her, like to me, she's happy with them just being themselves and encouraging them.
And being their best self,
Right, exactly.
whatever that is.
And I know it's not the TV show, but take Morticia Adams from the second movie, the Addams Family Values, where they like go to that camp where everybody's like normal, like hyper normal. And she is horrified when she sees like her son come out in that turkey costume. But at the same time, she's trying to be supportive. She's trying to be understanding. She's not trying to push her values on her children. She's just trying to let them explore. So yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right about that.
All right, go ahead, Damien.
Oh yeah, okay. No. Go with. Well, I'm gonna bring. I was gonna hold this one to last, but I'm gonna bring it up now. Kind of the anti-mom, if you will. Peg Bundy, played by Katie Seagal.
I was waiting for that.
From Married with Children, because she's always all made up and looks like, you know, the picture perfect like 50s 60s mom kind of thing in the 1980s, of course. But yet, you know, she doesn't do any of the mom stuff, you know, period. she refuses. You know. But yeah, so it's just kind of like the anti-mom, you know, but yet still she's the mom, and you know, she loves her kids, I guess. Kind of.
She's stuck with them until they're 18 at least.
She's stuck with them at least. Yeah. That's why I say she's like the anti-mom, you know. So
she's an iconic character. Right?
Yeah, she's an iconic character for sure.
Like she's because again, and it goes. She's one of the first ones that really went against the model of mom that was portrayed.
Mom,
right? That like the Leave It to Beavers, the Brady Bunch, and all that different stuff. Like she really they really made her character to be the antithesis of this, right? Because it's two high school kids that got pregnant and they just sort of had to stick it out. Like, I don't think they.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Right. And so, like, I love
it. Can you say MILF? Oh.
She really just they like, to me it really showed, because you'll hear nowadays, because of all of the issues that we're having, a lot of people like stressing like staying together for the kids. And to me, that's the Bundys are the personification of staying together for the kids. Like they don't like, to me, it's not a healthy love that they have, right? They may love each other, but it's not a healthy love, because Al wants to be someone else. Absolutely, right? She's not truly happy with Al. Like it's the kids are you know, like, are delinquent.
What's funny is she's not truly happy with Al, and Al's not truly happy with her, but they both get opportunities in the show to be unfaithful to each other, and they never actually are.
Right.
So, and it's because of the fact that they do love the other. So,
well, I think,
you know,
I think
in the pudding there, you know.
No. I think they do love each other, but again, like I said, it's a toxic, unhealthy love. And I think they
still love each other.
That doesn't mean that's great, but you look at the kids, right? Like, again, like you could say like, oh, they love each other, but the kids are freaking have massive issues. And so, like, to me, that's where I think it's a great example of like, you can, and again, are they faithful because they love each other? Are they faithful because they feel like they have to like fit this mold? Are they doing it because they want to, or are they doing it because they feel like outside pressure to do this, right? And those are the questions that are never fully answered in that, to me. But it's to me, that's a personification of, you know, of why it's not always healthy to stay together for the kids, right? Because again, the kids don't learn healthy love. There's a greater risk of them having dysfunctional families because they're going to play it out in their own relationships, things like that. So again, this is before therapy was normalized like it is now. So when watching that, like, use that as a model to say like, hey, maybe we should get couples counseling, not because everyone should be in therapy, but because, hey, there's some things that we can work on to make this better, so that not only for us we're happier, but also for our kids, they're able to learn how to have a healthy relationship. Right. And then can carry that forward in their own marriage, so that we can break the cycle. That's all I'm saying. Like these were two high school kids that got pregnant and then stayed together because they were supposed to and got married. There was, and so there's a lot of dysfunction that goes along with that. Right. And again, it's not a criticism of them. We all have our issues. Just be responsible and go get the healthy help like you would if you were sick, you would go to a doctor. Right. So anyways, I will also say with Katie Seagal, she is like, to me, like the mom person, right? Because again, Gemma Teller Morrow in Sons of Anarchy.
I knew you were going to bring it up. Yeah.
Great. Like, again, for the situation, great mom, right? Like,
again, all about raising hell for your children. Yeah.
Right. She is that I will kill for my child, right? And again, kind of trapped in a situation, needs her own like stuff to work on, and not perfect mom or whatever, but like she was great. And then also Kate Hennessy in 8 Simple Rules, great mom in that one. And that's John Ritter's last role was in 8 Simple Rules. Yeah, like I'm not
familiar with that one. So
that's the show that like what's her name that was in The Big Bang Theory, the attractive girl or whatever that was in Big Bang,
Katie
and then
Kuko or something like that.
Yeah, Callie Kuko or whatever, right? She was the daughter in that show, right? And so that's where and so she's got like massive money because that's like John Ritter's last show. That's where he had the abdominal aortic aneurysm. When you like, that's how he died. Like you get this bulge in your abdominal aorta, and that thing's like this thick, and you have all of that blood. Like once that pops, like that's it, right? That's one of those like that's it. Like and it's
just an off button for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like because again, all of you like that's where like all of your blood goes to, and so once that ruptures, your just abdomen just fills with like all of it basically, and there's just no coming back. And there's been a couple times that we've randomly like there's no signs for it, right? So like when we catch somebody with that, like it's like hallelujah, right? Because it's like if you don't catch it, like that's a really bad thing. So anyways, she was a great mom in that show, and then also like had to deal with in that show they like how to deal with losing your father, right? She did a great job, right? How to lose your husband, how to lose it. Because again, they had to like, he died filming that show. And so they had to like, really like kind of make some changes. And then she was also one of my favorites, Duckman's mom from Duckman, Private Dick, Family Man.
Forgot all about that.
That is one of the best shows. And like, when I thought about that, like, cause again, I missed that show. It's such a great show. And I was like, where can you stream that? You can't. Like, so like, that's one of the few ones that I'm like actively going to go buy the DVD. I don't have a lot of DVDs anymore, and I'm going to find a way to play it because I'm going to connect it to something because I'm going to rewatch that series because it's a phenomenal series that I forgot about. So anyways, just to build off of Damien's like Eric did with Jessica Walter. Katie Seagal is a mom. And so much. Great.
All right, so I guess that means it's my turn,
yeah.
right?
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm actually going to go back to the classics. I'm going to talk about Dr. Robinson, June Lockhart from Lost in Space.
That's one of the ones that I thought that's the ones that like I was like, there's 3 that I forgot about, and that's absolutely one. Yeah. Great one.
I love her as a character because like you've got Will and the dad, I can't remember his name. John, I think is his name. So that's why I can't remember it. And like they're very dry, like they're very like focused on what they have to do and what they have like their mission or whatever the weird thing happening in this episode is. But like she was always the voice of compassion, of like trying to see the good in everybody, even Dr. Smith. You know, she was always showing that side of the story. Like she was always like bringing her husband and Will back from, you know, going too far into their empirical left-brained life. And she was like the most human element of that core family. And for me, like that's a really good example of what a mom should be in that kind of situation. So yeah, definitely. And Joan Lockhart nailed it. She's awesome. So yeah, Dr. Robinson or Mrs. Robinson, if you prefer.
All right.
Okay, so
Scott!
that's it.
Smack your hand.
Hey, I'm sorry. That's my, hey, it's time for church alarm. So. I'm missing church for y'all.
Dude in upper left is stroking his beard like.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wait.
Okay, so unless anybody else still wants to talk about Dr. Robinson, let's go to Joe.
Yep.
Oh crap. List. Where am I at? Crap. I had another one. I can't remember what it was. It was actually trying to stay within my childhood. Jane Jetson.
Oh,
Sure, why
Oh,
not?
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Go with a cartoon mom.
Oh,
It was just I guess just the nostalgia. It's just that same kind of classic housewife mom.
At least
I
you
don't
didn't
know,
have to
just-
do the house cleaning because of the robot.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and the
Rosie.
reason that one popped up is because there was somebody who like went through and like did the math of like how old George was versus how old she was versus how old the kids were, and they're like, something is off here. But it fit within the time period. But yeah, it's more of a nostalgia pick. Just going back from when I was a kid.
Yeah, I can't really remember too much, but I think she was a good mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I think so.
I mean, she didn't have to cook or clean or do any of the, mom stuff really, other than like, and stereotypical mom stuff, I should say. But she cared for her kids, and
She was still caring for the
Yeah.
family. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Rosie was kind of like the other mom on the show.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
yeah.
My two moms.
As opposed to My Two Dads.
Exactly.
Who remembers that show?
Yeah,
I remember that
Oh,
show.
it's been a
I
while.
love that show. I wanted that car couch.
Yes.
Zuper points out that June Lockhart was also a mom in Lassie. So yeah.
Oh,
She was a
well
good mom in that
done.
too. Yeah.
No, you know what? Terrible mom. Because who lets Timmy fall down a well?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what? Woof woof.
The
What?
dog
Did Timmy
had to
fall down
take
a
care-
well?
Again? He did that last week.
Terrible mom. Terrible mom. Sorry.
I never really enjoyed Lassie as a kid. It was just
Neither did
like,
I, really.
I watched it. I don't remember anything about it, but I know I watched it. Anyway, it's your turn.
Moving
Damien.
on, I guess that's me next. I'm gonna go with Lois Griffin on Family Guy, simply because she has to deal with Peter.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough.
She's pretty much taking care of all of it herself because he is completely useless for anything ever. In fact, I would almost go as far as to say that he's a horrible person, unlike Homer Simpson, who is like just a lovable
There's
buffoon who
some
doesn't mean to be
there, yeah.
moron. He tries. Peter is an objectively bad person when you really watch the show.
Most of the characters in that show
yeah.
are pretty irredeemable.
Yeah. But Lois, she actually, she cares for Peter and she cares for the kids, even though she like kind of ignores Meg.
Everybody
shut up,
hates
Meg.
Meg.
Yeah. Shut up, Meg. But no, she really does care, and she tries to be a good mom, and she's always seems to be the one to try to fix whatever Peter has destroyed yet again. So, but anyway, I don't know if you guys watch a whole lot of Family Guy, but I did for a while, and yeah.
I don't know, like the absurdist humor. Like I
Yeah.
found it funny for one episode, but after that,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the same thing over and over again, and I just never, I never went back to it.
I do like how they bring in current events into the show, and kind of play off of those at times. So,
but I would be remiss if I did mention that John is having a hissy fit in the comments because nobody's mentioned Marge Simpson yet.
we
I
brought
was
that
waiting
up
for
on the
you.
movie
I was
Moms
gonna bring-
one.
I
brought that
thought
up on Movie
Damien would bring Marge and.
I was
I
gonna
know.
bring up Marge, but we brought her up on the Movie Moms one
That's
because
true.
of the Simpsons
Yeah.
movie.
The
I
Simpsons
brought
did
up,
have a movie.
I brought
Yeah.
up Marge Simpson on that one.
She's
But
number
I
9
keep
on my
bringing up
list, man.
Morticia,
She's number
so-
9 on my list.
She actually is on my list, but I have her as a, basically at the end because we already talked about her before. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. But
Okay,
anyway, so
my turn.
okay.
John Roberts, yes, a guy, as Linda Belcher on Bob's Burgers.
That was next on my list.
Oh,
Scott.
was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I was almost going to bring that one up, but I was like, no, I'll go Family Guy first.
Another show about
yeah.
letting your freak flag fly.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like she and again, she really rallies the family together. And to me, I really love that show because it's like an American family trying to create a small business and the family coming together to make it work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this classic kind of construct that we often don't see anymore because again, to get a little bit political, we set things up so that small businesses, we support like monopolies and that crush the small business. So the average American can't start their own thing. Right. Mm-hmm. So we don't see that much anymore. And if we do, like they tend not to last because again, they're the ones that are having to pay for all the taxes. They're the ones that are having to support the communities and they end up and pressured and they get crushed out. Mm-hmm. And so like this to me, I hope it's a rallying cry, right? For us to get back to something where a family can come together, create something and build something, right? That is unique to a community, right? That rather than just having, a McDonald's in every city.
Well, yeah. What's that statistic Gordon Ramsay likes to quote that like 5% of all family-owned businesses are closed within a year?
Yeah. It's something crazy.
95. Yeah.
Yeah. 95. Yeah. Like it's crazy. Right. And that's not how it should be. And so to me, that's what I love about the show. And then with Linda Belcher, like, first off, the fact that it's a guy doing the voice, like how like classic Hollywood is that, right? Mm-hmm. That instead of using a woman to play the part, like they use a guy. And so, right. Just like instead of using someone of that community, you have, a white guy playing it.
Well, a bunch of the guys' voices in The Simpsons are voiced by a woman. So, like Bart Simpson.
Bart Simpson. Right.
Children are often, male children are often voiced by women.
Females. Yeah. But like, so I love that, and I always laugh about that. But she really does support her kids and who they are, tries to guide them, tries to keep the family together, tries to kind of like. And it's a really good, to me, it's a really good family dynamic. So Lily Munster. That's a good one.
Yeah, we talked about Morticia. We didn't talk about Lily Munster yet.
Yeah. So, but
and she has to put up with all those burger puns all the time. So,
of course.
Yeah. Oh. And then on top of it, like she's also finding her own thing, right? And I think that's one of the things like nowadays that isn't done enough. Like we focus so much on our work identity that we lose track of the concept of hobbies, right? Which and the things outside of the work hat, we lose track of all these other things that make us a complete person. And the thing that I appreciate about her is that she loves musical theater, she loves singing. And she's going to do everything that she can in order to like follow this dream of hers, right? Of incorporating it in her life. She's not going to be I'm trying to like finish it, but the comments are so great. The comments are just so great. Anyways, so I just think it's a really good portrayal of again, like things that even though we're working and we're stressed with so much and they're always on the brink of disaster, like she still does what she can for her kids and herself too. Like I think that's a thing that we tend to forget.
Okay, yeah, cool. I mean, like that is a good choice and I like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say my last one. We're approaching the hour and a half, so I think we should like wrap it up. Let's like do like one more each.
Okay.
And also, I'm
I
at the
only
end of
have
my
one
list.
left.
Yeah,
Everybody
so,
stole it. Everybody took all my others.
So my last one is actually a little bit controversial. I'm actually picking Kate Austen from Lost, because Kate is mostly a terrible character. Like she's just awful. But then when she leaves the island and she has Claire's daughter or Claire's son, Aaron, the baby, and like raises the baby as her own, as a single mom, she like realizes she's got to put aside all of her criminal history and all of her, bad instincts and all of her like everything that makes her a terrible character. Like she has to put all that aside to be a mom, to be responsible. And I think she nails that. And I think that like Evangeline Lilly as an actress, she really like matures into that role as that character matures. And I really wanted to highlight the idea of you can be a mom without being a biological mom and without even having a father in the picture. Like just to be a single mom who's not even the real mom. She's still more of a mom than Claire could ever be because Claire went crazy. So like, I don't know. I just wanted to bring her up because I love Lost and because I think she does do a good job of being a good mom to Aaron. Yeah.
I love Lost up until season 3, and then the rest was just to see what happened.
A lot of people feel that way.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of like my same thought on Game of Thrones. After a while, I was just like, I just need to see how this ends.
Yeah, pretty much. I got the same way with the Game of Thrones.
I don't even really want to watch this anymore.
Yeah, with Lost, like I love the first.
Yeah.
I actually like the first 5 seasons, but that last season, I can't defend that.
Well, maybe up to season 4, I liked it, but yeah,
season 5 it did start to go a little off the rails, but
it's like
season 6 it was completely off the rails.
Yeah, it's like what's going on here? I'm so confused. I felt like I was tripping the whole time.
Eric, I'm gonna be a blasphemy. I'm gonna say blasphemy here. I have never watched Lost.
Oh my god!
Yeah. We're not friends anymore.
You have a lot of homework, sir.
I know, right?
6 seasons of it.
Yeah. So I know. I like that's one I need to go back and watch and stuff like that. So, anyways,
once you watch if you get through the first 3 episodes, you'll not want to stop until it really season 5 or so, and then you'll just be like, I just have to see how it ends now. So
there's something about TV shows in the early 2000s that were really good at doing that. Like 24 and Lost are like the perfect examples. They hook you in, and you want to binge the whole thing. You don't want to stop.
Yeah, I think I watched the entire first season of Lost in like 2 nights or something like that, or maybe 3, something like that. I couldn't
I was
stop
one of those
watching it.
Unfortunate souls who like saw the first episode when it aired, so I was always waiting week to week like a junkie.
Where's my Lost?
That was me for the last season. Was the last one was I caught up to it for the last season, and and that it killed me every week having to wait. You're like, God, I want to know what happens next.
This is so hard.
My wife and I like hate how like streaming services are now going back to that old model of doing the weekly thing because we're like,
them. Oh,
wait,
sorry.
We got one. It's okay.
Okay.
Nobody else.
But no, we're like, what in the world is going on? What is this? Like, no. Like, because you get so used to just like streaming it all and binge watching it. Like, and for me, like there's so much out there that when you do the weekly, you actually start to forget that which show you were watching. Mm-hmm. So like we have to kind of do the streaming or the binge watching and otherwise we forget that we were watching that or where were we and like, oh,
well, that's why they do the little recap at the beginning sometimes,
Well, yeah, and so like when you've like missed a few weeks, like I like that it at least shows like what you've watched or whatever. But yeah, like we'll forget about an entire show because of that now because we're so used to binging. So, anyways, sorry. Go for it, Joe.
It is available on Hulu, and I was trying to check to see if on Hulu you can watch it at faster speeds so you could get through it faster, but I think it's only
1.5.
Yeah. But anyway, kind of going with the adopted mom kind of concept, and not really adopted mom, but a character that I remember yet again growing up is Edna Garrett from Facts of Life.
Oh,
yeah.
She wasn't really their mom; she was their house mom. But
right.
She's watching over them, making sure that they're, not doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, and just keeping up with, a whole bunch of kids, just trying to keep everybody, especially since they're not related, keeping them civil and working together and accepting each other's differences and whatnot. So I don't know if y'all watched that show growing up.
A little bit when I was growing up, yeah. Like if it was on, I'd watch it, but it wasn't something
I did a
sought
little
out.
bit.
These are a lot of shows I used to watch, like with my mom growing up. So, but
Yeah, I actually liked that show, and the theme song's running through my head right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a theme song.
I know. As soon as he
Yeah.
said it, like,
And-
the facts of life.
yeah, and it's
The facts of life.
if it's a different Strokes spinoff as
Yeah.
well. So,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
so.
God, now that song's going through my head.
It's okay. I still got thank you for being a friend and
Yeah.
Travel down the road and back again. Come on.
All right,
My heart
Damien.
is true.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah,
a
like,
friend and a confidant. Anyway,
All right.
I won't sing unless somebody gives me a super chat.
All right, Damon,
All right.
what's your pick?
Kitty Foreman from that 70s show, played by Deborah Jo Rupp.
Mhm.
Iconic again.
Yeah,
she's
she is a good mom. She's she's even a surrogate mom somewhat to the other characters.
to the other kids. Yeah,
Especially
Yeah.
Hyde, right?
Yeah, especially Hyde. Yeah. And she's just, she's always there. She's a nurse. They get hurt. She helps them out, and she cooks and takes care of them and has advice for them and so on and so forth. And occasionally she gets a little bit sloshed at times, but then it's kind of cute the way she does though. So it's just overall good mom, and she has to put up with Red. So
Yeah.
Have
you
who is
watched the
constantly
90s show?
irritated. Yeah, I've watched 1 or 2 episodes of it.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, hey, Sean Ennis is here. Hello, Sean.
Hello.
Hey. All right, for
All
mine.
right, Scott, this is it. This is the last
Okay.
one.
All right.
Make it good.
I
Kevin
know.
Costner.
I'm
Kevin
not-
Costner. Did he ever play a mom?
I know. Well, so in the show, like Yellowstone, their mom died, so he actually had no. I'm just kidding. So
Scott would call him mommy.
mine's a one show twofer. Okay.
Mommy.
So the first, in the show, Catherine Winnick as Lagatha from Vikings, and because she is just she's the mother of Bjorn Ironside. She is like a shield maiden. She's holds Ragnar accountable, and then when Ragnar goes for Oslog, played by Aslan Sunderland, who then creates Ivor the Boneless and all of his children. She was also an awesome mom because she was a shield maiden. And these were just to me, these two women, both just
These two women?
No. These two women. No. And so
head.
look at my hand. Look at the way that. So these two women.
It's got separate women. You got one over here and one over there.
So
gotcha. Okay.
Huge tracts of land. Huge. No. So
Such
these
beautiful
two women,
eyes.
I know. These two women are just really powerful, especially when you have an iconic character like Ragnar, are just powerful women that hold him accountable and raise their children to basically almost conquer the world. That they're legendary now, right? And they were actually people. They're actual people historically. They actually did amazing things, and you need really, especially with a dad that back then who isn't, he's a ruler, he's not quite as involved. You need really strong women to raise these men to be the powerful men that they are, and they were powerful in their own right. They were great warriors in their own right, and so I love those two. And again, Lagatha was just freaking slaughter anyone who messes with her kid. Like she's like.
I still
Vicious.
need to watch Vikings. I haven't
Yeah, me
watched
too.
it.
Oh, it's awesome! It's
I want
exceptional.
to.
Yeah.
You have
It's on my list to watch. But
Yeah,
I
no.
still-
I watched like 2 seasons of it, I think, maybe 3. Yeah, it's a pretty good show. I lost interest and lost track after
Well, you
a
know,
while,
Joe and
so.
Scott kind of look like Vikings.
Yeah. And Scott, any
Mm.
woman with the name Lagatha, yeah, you got to watch out. She's gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or Oslog.
yeah, Oslog.
Oslog, like the daughter of like a world famous shield maiden.
Yeah.
Like, and again, Catherine Winnick and Alyssa Sutherland,
hmm
stunning women. Stunning women.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I just like great actresses, phenomenal actresses, stunning. Yeah.
Giggity.
Okay, so I think we're gonna have to wrap it up now because it's getting late.
Yeah.
But I did want to say, if you like what we're talking about, you like the four of us, just the chemistry we have together, we do have our own podcast, From Here to Paternity. And I am not prepared to do all the exit stuff, but if you want to see more stuff from me on my channel, I just dropped a review of The Rocketeer this morning.
I saw that.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I have to
Yeah, I
watch
haven't
that.
watched it yet.
Yeah. So I know which one of you is my true friend. No. And I'll probably have another live stream next week, but I don't know what it is yet. I haven't thought about it until just now because I had 2 live streams this weekend. So, yeah, that's all for me, but I'm going to let Scott go ahead and do the outro because he's so good at it. Scott.
All right.
On the spot.
So yeah. So we'll so we had our number 29th episode drop recently, or about a month ago, and then we've got 30 coming out, and we're going to be recording actually our next one next week. So also prior to our recordings on From Here to Paternity, we do like a 30-minute like pre-chat to kind of get us in the mojo mood, and we might have a special guest with that episode, and so but yeah. There's a couple people that we want to collaborate with. We want to get Thrash and collaborate with him. So there's a lot of people that we want to like collaborate with this year and have chats with. So, follow us, check us out. We're honest and open. It's a place for conversation and different minds to come together and find a happy medium and understand each other and understand fatherhood. So. All right.
There's no understanding you, Scott.
Oh yeah. Thrash, post your. Oh yeah. You Thrash. Don't you have a recording?
Yeah, he has
tonight?
one tonight. Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
He does live chats every Sunday night usually.
Yeah. So
yeah, you give us the deets and we'll read them aloud.
Yeah. And we're usually there too. So
Yeah, usually you'll find at least one of us there,
yeah.
if not more. Let's see. Oh, and if you are on the From Here to Paternity YouTube channel where this is also being broadcast, we're going to stick around for just a few minutes afterwards so we can like let all the bad words come out because we've been holding them in because we're normally much more explicit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're attempting to come out of me now, and I can't.
Yep. So
Making me cough.
So tonight, 7:30 Eastern, come watch Thrash's show. So that's 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, 5:30 Mountain, and 4:30 Pacific. So come watch Thrash's live show tonight. It's awesome. It's fun. And yeah.
And that's Thrash Pondo
Ponds. Yeah, Thrash Pondo Ponds. So Eric, if you want to post that on our...
Yeah, I can do that. I can post that.
He just put it in the chat.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'll post that on the Facebook group and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So.
And I'll put it in
All
the
right.
description, obviously. Okay. So,
So-
yep. So for the people on my channel, goodbye. I'm sorry you can't hear bad words.
Adios.
Yeah. Come join us on the From Here to Paternity. We'll chat a little bit more and and be goofballs. So
Never
It
be
is the
ashamed
dumps-
of what you love. Yeah.
it's the dumpster fire of conversation for a reason. So
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Thank you, Joe.
there we go. All right. Much love, y'all.
No. Wait. Hold on.
Oh,
Don't start swearing yet.
I'm having trouble. I'm trying to just end it for one, but it's not really working.
Technology.
I might have to
darn.
just start a whole nother broadcast.
Okay.
So we'll do that.